Hello world, SirLaurenceNZ here, and today I'm streaming, I'm casting another game between the Viper and Hera. Now, Hera, being the funny guy that he is, changed his name to Road to Tyrant. Yep. Anyway, Viper getting his sheep onto the TC nice and quick, same as Hera, so both these guys fairly even footing here. Viper taking a little bit of food from this berry bush as well. Anyway, so let's have a look at these guys' maps here. So here, Viper, he's got a pretty solid wood line on the right here. No wood lines to the left here, really accessible, and then he's got a wood line down here over by his deer. So you could definitely see some nice stuff with this deer, these boar, all of these berries here. That could definitely be quite nice for the Viper. I'd also quite like to see Viper setting up his second wood line here. Send 4 villagers over here at once, gather an entire deer, and then build the lumber camp so that it does a drop-off thing. That'd be very, very nice. Or he could just simply lure it back to his mill using his scout. Anyway, let's look at the resources of these guys here. Viper's got a secondary gold out to the right here, a little bit out of the way. His main gold, kind of dead smack in the middle of his base. Could definitely see some pressure over there, but thankfully it's facing away from Hera for the Viper. And then up to the north here, but we have Viper's, well, actually we'll call that the secondary gold. This is the tertiary gold. But anyway, that's a little bit out of the way. Also near some wolves, so depending on the difficulty these guys have it set on. Let's see. Difficulty standard, so probably won't be seeing those boars come over, but also those deers come over, but on hardest we definitely could see those wolves possibly attack the gold, but that's not a thing to be today. Anyway, forward stone and back stone. Is there really much else to comment on? If Hera can force Viper out to this wood line, could definitely close off the game like the Viper did to Hassan. Anyway, let's have a look at the Viper's map here. Well, sorry, not the Viper, Hera, or Tyrant to be, whatever. Not sure exactly what you want to say. Online matches are virtually never set on hardest. Yeah, they usually are set on standard, but the difficulty does affect the wolf aggro distance, which, yeah, it can affect the level of play, shall we say. I don't know exactly that, but yes, it is not usually set on hardest. Anyway, so Viper's got 2 very nice backwood lines here. Slightly unfortunate they're on a hill though, but nothing can really be helped from that. Here setting up a second wood line over here, and here once again even more solid wood lines over here. And I honestly doubt that Viper could force Hera onto that far wood line. It does appear though that Hera has missed out on 2 of its sheep, and you can see Hera up forwards with a scout, and those 2 sheep missing, going to be quite unfortunate for him. Let's just see if he has scouted those. Doesn't look like he has. Very close on scouting them, but has just missed them nonetheless. Viper taking an advantage in the scout health as well. Viper definitely going to be securing his position there, and yeah, Hera taking a couple of nice hits on the hit of the Viper. Well, at least on the competitive level. Well, these are casual games, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of settings slip, but yeah. As I said, Viper luring those deer, going to be quite strong for him. Viper also putting up a stable here, looking for a scout rush. Exact same thing from Hera, going to be getting up the stable slightly sooner. Is Hera going to be able to get those scouts out just a tiny bit quicker once he cues them out? And a second here. There we go, finally queuing the scouts out. And the Viper. Let's see. Viper got 2 scouts out already. Hera kind of outnumbered, and Viper also going forwards with a couple of spearmen here, and around this bottleneck that could definitely cause some problems. It looks like the wall is slightly open here, so, well, and at the front there, so here it's still going to be able to retreat without having to delete his barracks or anything. But Hera, well sorry, Viper looking to go on the offensive here as Hera patrolling the wrong side of his base, and looks like the spearmen of the Viper going to be attacking downhill on the spearmen of Hera. Going to be a good fight for the Viper to take there with those spearmen, rather than letting them engage his scouts, as the Viper does have a scout advantage and he is on the offensive. But Hera now leveling the scout advantage, and the Viper going to be falling back here. Only with, in fact, where did that extra scout of the Viper go? I was sure that he had 3 scouts. Also, Viper just letting that spear idle at the back of his base. Rather unfortunate. But Hera outnumbering the number of scouts from... Well, sorry, the Viper outnumbering the... Nope. Hera... Man, I cannot get this right. Keep on mixing up between the closeness of the 2 players to the bases. So Viper having the scout advantage, but Hera having a couple spearmen out, but spearmen aren't really mobile enough to be able to engage in this high-speed battle, shall we say. But anyway, Viper looking to get all of his scouts together and try to engage these 4 scouts using his superior numbers and downhill if he can get into such a position. Anyway, here we're going to be running towards that spearman, and Viper kind of just doing a nice flank move there and splitting up his scouts so that one of his groups would for sure hit Hera's scouts, and they were able to take out 1 scout quite quickly as they blocked it off. But Hera now getting out some more reinforcement scouts, definitely looking to turn this fight around or do some damage to the Viper's economy. But Viper now moving up with all of these scouts here, definitely looking to do some damage here, and here I'm throwing up a spearman, going to be able to defend there quite nicely. Anyway, the scout of Hera there, killing a spearman, well sorry, scouts of Hera, not scout. But yeah, focusing down the spearman quite effectively, only taking 1 or 2 hits at a time, but Hera not ideal for him to be fighting this many spearmen. He just took out 3 spearmen to get to these villages, so unless he can kill some, it's not a good engagement for him. And the Viper now coming in with his scouts, he's going to be able to clean up Hera here. And all of a sudden, Hera's looking in a bit of a dicey position as Viper halfway up to the castle age. However, Hera does have a significant military lead. He's spending a lot more resources on scout rush, well sorry, on his scout rush, and it looks like he might be trying to do an endless scout rush. However, it looks like he's only on 1 stable, so it's not going to be that endless. However, Hera definitely dumping a lot more resources into the scouts. Viper also still outnumbering Hera's scouts at the very front of his base. However, Hera managing to kill 1 villager in the wood line here, as Viper uses a couple of the spearmen to be able to clean up those scouts on that side there. But anyway, Hera moving into this wood line. A few of the villagers have been softened up by the scouts of Hera. However, Viper here with crossbow going to be able to take some trades quite effectively as the Viper runs in some some scout cavalry, going to be able to do quite well with that. Okay, so it looks like Viper going to be renewing his woodlines very, what's the word? I can't think of it. Very vigorously, I don't know. But Viper definitely renewing his woodlines a lot, and going to be keeping his villagers at a high efficiency. However, the cost of those woodlines, I'm not sure at that distance if it really does pay it off. I know that it is more effective than you think, but I don't think it's that effective, to be honest. Futiles is still definitely worth only having 1 lumbercat there. But anyway, here finally hitting the castle age, but Viper being in the castle age for 1 or 2 minutes already, going to leave the Viper in a very strong position here. As he makes a change into cavalry archers with 4 ranges, and probably going to be picking up going to be picking up bloodlines anytime soon. But here having a little bit of difficulty managing his economy as the archers from the Viper run in. I'm not sure, but the Viper might have actually just sniped off a whole bunch of 1 health farms, which is definitely a good decision from Hera. Well, sorry, from the Viper, as that could have cost Hera a couple of 100 wood. But it looks like Hera isn't going to be able to do a huge amount of damage with any of his units right now, and the Viper having a small military deficit, but the Viper's military is mostly in cavalry archers, while Hera's military is mostly in archers, in crossbows and skirmishers. Anyway, Hera going to be able to kill quite a few villagers on this TC, possibly. Definitely getting a one-shot on that deer, definitely the best move for him to do, totally. But anyway, looks like these guys coming out of that fight about even, at least on resources put into that fight, and both these guys with about the same villager population, but Hera having about 10 more military, going to be quite strong, but mind you, that military is weaker, not being cavalry archers, and you can see now the Viper's got bloodlines, he's getting thumbring now, he's probably got ballistics already. That's an incredibly important research, and Viper preemptively putting those villagers into the TC there. Serious question, have you ever streamed a game where Viper lost? I have streamed a few where he's lost, but he's probably won about 70 or 75% of the games. Anyway, Viper moving out with his cavalry archers now, going to be looking to take a fight with Hera's cavalry archers here, but he's going the wrong direction here. Hera just bolting it out of here. Definitely looking to get out of the way of Viper's army there, as Viper pretty much tying in military size here, but Hera still got a few units around here, so about the same amount of cavalry archers. However, Hera going to take a nice fight here as he's able to engage a small number of Viper's cavalry archers, going to use some nice micro there, taking a 3-for-1 trade there. Nice trade for Hera there. Viper also putting up a tower onto that watchtower to protect any of the villagers on that main gold there, which is nice. And Viper, let's see what he does here. So it looks like Hera is going to be moving. This could be a really big move from Hera, actually. If Hera gets in there in time. Oh my word, that is... Oh, what are you doing? No, Hera. Oh no. If he just patrolled into that, he could have done so much damage there. Like, he is still killing a few villagers, but he had like 10 villagers with TC, about half build, with their backs facing towards his cavalry archers. He could have done so much damage there if he just patrolled into that. But sadly, oh man, he could have done so much damage there. That would have been beautiful, the timing of that. But instead he's just losing a few units for no reason. But it looks like Hera going to be able to pick off a few more villagers by that TC of the Viper. And Viper just holding on to that hill here, doing some nice patrolling action to get those dancing cavalry archers. As Spirit of the Law said, patrolling units is mesmerizing. As you can see them just going like... Blue, blue, blue. But anyway. Hera suddenly looking in quite a dicey position here once again. But Hera moving up here... shooting that range, that's going to do so much damage to the Viper's eco. But yeah, Viper outnumbering Hera here and still continuing to micro these units, going to be very potent for the Viper here, but if Hera stops throwing these units away and gets this army to ambush the Viper, that could be very strong. And also getting a nice mangonel shot onto the cavalry archers of Hera. But Hera now engaging with his full army finally. This definitely could be a turning point for Hera, but it looks like Viper just outnumbering him too much. And it looks like Viper just taking that fight. It was quite slim margins though. And Hera having the defender's advantage, going to have a few more units in there in a couple of seconds. But the Viper moving up with another lot of cavalry archers, definitely going to be able to renew his pressure. Anyway, the Mangonel of Hera going to be putting some threat against all of these cavalry archers, and Hera letting those villagers out to gather that gold right there. Not so good. Viper is just so ridiculously good at maneuvering, you can almost never get a decent battle on him. Yeah, that sounds about right. Honestly, being able to maneuver and micro your units effectively is just, it's a skill and an art at the same time. Like, honestly, the Viper is just so amazing at it, and we see him doing it so often that we just take it for granted. But it's like Viper has this attack bonus against all players just because of his micro. It's like Viper +1 attack against all units, you know. Looks like Viper did get a nice raid into the woodline here, killing about 3 or 4 villagers here. Possibly another one there, so possibly 5 villagers there, and Viper taking about 15 villager lead. That's quite significant, and yeah, he does definitely manage his eco at the same time. That's something that Viper does very well. You can see there, that very moment that his villagers went idle, he dealt with them, and watch that. That villager is going to be dealt with in just a matter of seconds. Anytime now. Today. Tomorrow. And hello? Viper, you're killing my statement, dude. You're killing my statement. Like, what? Why? Okay, thank you, there we go. Let's see. Anyway, back to these fights and stuff here. Looks like, Hera was trying to do some damage with some mangonels, but honestly, these cavalry archers with bloodlines, they're kind of just a little bit too tanky for mangonels to do a huge amount against them. I know that I've definitely been successful using mangonels against cavalry archers, but it's very difficult, to say the least. Also, Hera changing into some like cavalry as well. Just looking to have a little bit of tank in front of his own cavalry archers. But I kind of doubt it's going to do a huge amount. But Hera now moving up with some siege, wanting to put some pressure onto the Viper. But Viper kind of just ignoring that for the most part and just leaving a few units behind to be a nuisance, killing quite a few villagers. He is suiciding a couple of units though into that town center, which is rather unfortunate for the Viper. Anyway, man, them cavalry archers. Anyway, Viper putting out some trash here, and this is actually starting to look a bit better for Hera now, and you can see all of these different types of military production that Hera's getting out here. You can see about 5 or 6 ranges here and a whole bunch of stables. It's going to be quite strong for Hera, and Viper being forced into skirmishers a bit here to try and counter the cavalry archers, but then we've got these light cavalry of Hera, so both these guys kind of being forced to build a bit of trash. 1, to subsidize their gold cost, and 2, well sorry, there's 3 reasons. 2, just to get a bit of meat shield in there, and then 3, just to be able to get the units on the map, because you can see these guys aren't at their at their population caps yet. Also worth noting, Hera has actually gotten a villager lead, and things are starting to actually look quite strong for Hera now, and it looks like he might be taking this game from the Viper. So if he can close this game out effectively, we could definitely see Viper being toppled here by Hera, and this would probably be the first game that I've seen Viper lose in quite a few days. Viper though definitely defending his economy quite nicely with these defensive castles. But yeah, Hera making some very good decisions here, making all of these units to subsidize his army here, going to be conserving his gold. However, you can see here, even though Hera is doing this, he's not able to stockpile resources like the Viper. The Viper still looking pretty good on his KD, but it feels like this game is kind of just like, it's just within Hera's grasp, but he's not quite taking it yet. we've kind of got this bit of hesitation that I always find myself in when I take a military advantage like this. And you can see the Viper starting to bring this military advantage away from Hera. So where Hera had a military advantage of 20 or 30 units a few minutes ago, that's suddenly gone down to about 12. So Viper definitely clawing this back with the Imperial Age techs by the looks of it. And both these guys in the Imperial Age, but Viper of Hussar is going to be able to do some serious raiding here, and you can see here coming in towards all of these TCs, the farms, all the wood lines and stuff. Hera's economy is also incredibly messy, and you can see that idle time skyrocketing for Hera right here. But Hera being incredibly menacing near the center of the Viper's base, but also Hera doesn't really have any castles out that he can make trebs from. So Hera's going to have a lot of trouble taking out the trebs. Well, sorry, going to have a lot of trouble taking out the castles, and that's what's defending the Viper's economy. So until Hera can crack the castles of the Viper, Viper is actually in a surprisingly good position, and Viper also getting heavy cavalry archer, going to suddenly be able to take this fight around, and Viper taking back, well, not taking back the military lead, but he's definitely evened it out. And we can see now Hera's almost double the military of the Viper just vanishing within a matter of minutes here. Definitely very well played from the Viper. Viper kind of just bringing this game back out of nowhere here. But still Hera doing some good things here, using these rams here to tank the arrow fire of the cavalry archers of the Viper, but not kind of really getting them out fast enough, and you can see here the cavalry archers kind of just dying in that little clump there. But Hera not throwing this game away yet. He has managed to take back a military advantage once again, but Viper of too many hussars to clean up the rams here. Those rams are starting to lose effectiveness. We can see here though, the Viper's woodlines are getting quite thin. He's starting to move out here, but how many TCs is the Viper on? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5 TCs from the Viper. So these guys definitely having very strong economies right now, and these guys are pretty much hitting pop block now. You can see Viper definitely pop blocked. Hera, let's see, is he pop blocked? Hera's not quite pop blocked, but he's very, very close. So both these guys going full out at each other now, and Hera now getting out some castles, going to be getting conscription, and also going to be getting some trebs out. Viper though, with 2 castles up already, well, both these guys having 2 castles, they'll probably be able to have fairly similar numbers of trebs. Hera though not repairing this castle, not sure if that's a very good idea. Not sure what Hera's doing there with those cavalry archers, but also with those light cavalry, but he definitely needs them there to be in that battle. But it looks like he is starting to take this battle back a little bit. Is that castle going to go down? It's so close. Hera just needs a couple more villagers on it. Barely going down. This is the castle from Hera, and that's going to be a huge loss for him right now. Hera though now having to deal with the battering rams from the Viper, and I'd say that those light cavalry from Hera just going off to the side there might have just lost him the game actually. And Hera calling GG. It was still quite close, but you know, it was probably all of the raiding that the Viper was doing, because you can see raiding all over the place and dead villagers everywhere. That was probably what caused Hera to crack, but I feel like Hera should have kept those light cavalry here, and if he could have broken that push in the center from the Viper, he could have plowed straight through, taken out the stables, could have taken out a whole bunch of the archery ranges. But still incredibly well played from Hera to be able to get Viper that close to losing a game. Also very unfortunate that Hera lost that castle there. If he'd been repairing earlier or just had some of these idle villagers on that castle, he definitely could have kept it up, and you saw he had the stone there at the end to keep the castle up. But anyway, GG, very well played from both players. That was a good game to watch. Anyways, to anyone watching this on YouTube, be sure to check out my Twitch stream, and likewise anyone on my Twitch stream, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, where I have been uploading similar games to this one quite regularly. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Good game, very well played by both players, and goodbyes to anyone watching this on YouTube. Goodbyes.